Hello, guys, and welcome to another episode of What If Civilization Started Over. In the last episode, we saw the beginning of World War II. We have the s- Square Alliance against the Triangle and Circle Alliances, and we also have the Square, Diamond, and Trapezoid Alliances all fighting over in Asia. If you enjoyed today's episode, make sure to like and subscribe, and let's get started. So the first thing we come back to is going to be the red team, or as I was recently told, it is brown. They will be invading into the blue team, eventually capturing the capital and almost capturing the whole country. They will then continue fighting in the green team, and they will be the ones that capture the capital again. So now our Asian fronts look like that. We see Mongolia, like Baikal, invading further into India. And here I'm going to stop real quick to say something. On the uh, power rankings layer, I have updated it, and now it also goes to 16. Number 1 is the Wolfid Empire still. Number 2 is still Persia. Number 3 has changed. I changed it to. Oh, yes. Number 3 is Lake Baikal now. Number 4 is now Denmark. Number 5 is now India. Number 6 is still Finnaterland. Number 7 is now South China. Number 8 is now the Cyan team. Number 9 is now Catalonia. Number 10 is now France. 11 is now Hervik. 12 is now the Crimean country. 13 is now Tanzania. 14. Don't put as 14. I don't even know if anyone is put as 14. Oh, Norway. Here, I did not see that. 15 is actually going to be this American country. First country in the Americas to make it onto the power ranking. Number 16 is North Korea. 17 is Egypt. 18 is the purple team. 19 is the dark cyan team. And 20 is the blue Polish country. I do need to edit the name for. Well, let's go back into the war real quick. We see Mongolia continuing to invade south into India. And here we see another player come into World War II. Another major player. We see the Herovic from one of my friends will join the war on the side of the circle and triangle teams. They'll start invading southwards very rapidly, and I mean, I am expecting this because I'm making this, but for now, we'll just say I'm not expecting this, and they will be able to get pretty far into the country. However, I will still finish off dark red team over here, meaning I can start moving troops out of this area to my northern front. And that I do as I make an invasion, or I not make, but continue my invasion into the green Crimean country. At least I hope this is still green. I will then be almost completely capture the Sea of Azov, and I will make a landing onto the Crimean Peninsula. I will then not encircle, but cut off the capital from the mainland and start encircling it. I'll then continue my invasion along the border to hopefully stop any help from arriving from northern nations. But Arabic will continue to invade, mostly in the eastern parts where there is less defense. They'll continue invading, eventually meeting up with the purple team, and they will invade all of this land here. My troops will finally arrive, and they start pushing back Hereford, and eventually in some areas, getting to the border of the country. Moving on from Eastern Europe, we go to Iberia, where we see the capturing of the Dark Scion team's capital. Let's see. Also, I should mention real quick, these are not, these two countries, and just some of these general countries, aren't the same color. Um, actually, this was the original color of Catalonia. It now looks like this. I made it darker so it's easier to differentiate from the from America. And I also did the same with their invasion. Moving on from South Iberia, we see Catalonia is able to slightly push back France from their capital, but France will continue making an invasion into these northern parts as Catalonian troops are still down here. However, French troops will be able to greatly push the Catalonians of this out of this area, reaching. These are not the French, I just realized. But either way, this pink country is still in the war. I did not realize that until now. I've called that country the French. But that's beside the point. But we do see the actual French invading north down here into the Scion team, where there are very few troops. Next, we see the reason South China has fallen so far in the power rankings and isn't doing anything in the war. They're experiencing a major revolt in their in the northern area of their colony. So we'll look something like this to start, and their vote will quickly invade down into the southern parts. Eventually, France will join in on this too. A little darker, a little brighter. There. France will join in on this too, hoping to get more coastline. France will capture these islands, and we will be able to capture almost the entire east coast. There's technically still some right there. So South China's now sending its ships down to there. We see this raspberry country then invading into South China's colony right here, eventually kicking South China out of Borneo, leaving them with just this island here. Hold on. It is. Okay. So I may or may not have just realized I forgot this. Um, so we have the rest of my colonies joining up with either the Philippines, which most of it does. There we go. Or joining up with the raspberry country, which this part here does. Not realize it didn't have that covered. Okay, let's set the point. We'll just pretend that was always like that. We see that next we see this blue country invading south into the Farmers Union, who has most of their troops in the green team. So it won't take long for their capital to be captured if they don't surrender. But they do draw back a lot of their troops from the green team, which allows for the green team to invade into the, eventually the green team. And the blue team will capture the country, leaving just Greece and purple team here. But we see the capital of the green team is captured, and they are continuing to be invaded. Eventually, there's a large encirclement of troops here, and they are all wiped out. We see Greece is able to go up. Greece is able to go up through the green team, capturing all of this land. And the purple team will also make a small push north, meeting, eventually meeting up. Eventually, this area here is liberated. Just going to get a similar color. This is definitely not the exact color it was, but it'll just be like that now. But it will not take long for this to continue being invaded. Eventually, you see the green team fall over to the purple team. This is almost going to conclude World War II. We do see the red team not doing that. The red team, Harvick, the green team, purple team, all the other countries that were in the war over in here are going to meet up in the capital of this blue country here. However, war will still be going on, just in this area here. We see the Mongolians continue invading into India, and eventually Indian troops are just rushing back to down here. And this is because of a very large scale rebellion right over in this area here. We see this rebellion growing quickly, and so this red country will take this as a great opportunity to invade into India. The red team will then also capture the rest of the blue team, and will also fully push out blue team from the green team's territory. They will then also make a push into the South China and continue invading into South China. They will then also be invading into this green country here. This red country is probably 21 on the uh, global firepower ranking. So it is going to be able to easily invade into this country, and because a lot of brown team troops are just focusing down here now, um, it's just it's a lot easier. Plus, they're also being backed up by Lake Baikal and all the other members of the Trapezoid Alliance. Speaking of the Trapezoid Alliance, we see a member kind of leaving. This has happened before. But we see these two countries up here unionizing to form the Great Siberia. Alliances. Just gotta erase this. On the alliances, erase. Alright, well that's done. Back to the war. We actually see this extremely weak, relatively new, like blue country invading into India. Then see Vietnam invades into India, but not just India, as they also will start invading into South China as well, being able to quickly capture this. To this color, I'm going to darken Vietnam, because I really not see that very well. I will continue to use this as their invasion color. So they will be able to cut off most of the main areas of South China from their capital, and they will work closely together with the Trapezoid Alliance. Not quite joining it. then see India is able to push back the breakaway country, as well as slightly push back here, as troops are not arriving into this area. But this does mean that they will continue being invaded from the north. Eventually, they the Pakal will meet up with the rebellion, and India will surrender over. South China then also surrenders over to the Trapezoid Alliance, and South Korea will, or this middle green China will also surrender over. And this will be the last battle of, how could I put it? This here will be the last battle of World War II. And it will go fairly quickly too. The America will invade into the Scientific colony, as they are rather familiar with this area. Let me get to here, and they will then continue to focus out in the western parts of their country. And once, when we look at the major cities, once the break, or once America reaches these major cities up here and obtains its goal of capturing that one, it will then focus on these areas. Now that the Scientine no longer has access directly to their colony, they will surrender over to America. This will be the end. World War II. In the next episode, we'll see the entire peace treaty of the war and expect to see a very different map.